What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Yo. Oh, what are you doing, Amy?
Good
This
start.
is Amy Miller just sucking
starting.
down the coffee.
Listen.
She paid $7. So bring it up here so people.
I don't want to advertise for the you know what.
She paid $7 for this because we're at the Rio Hotel, and it's a fine hotel, but $7 for this because the Starbucks line was too long, right?
So long.
Yeah. I will never. I told myself I will never wait in line for coffee ever.
I know.
Ever.
Same. I don't either. But they also don't have coffee in the rooms here. Like, what the
They
hell?
don't?
No.
Oh, because this is such a fine establishment, they don't need coffee in the rooms.
I will say though that cafeteria coffee is pretty good.
The one that
It's solid coffee. Yeah.
It is, because let me tell you, I talked to the guys back there, and they take pride in that coffee. Every
Yeah.
time I go back there to the coffee, go, it's fresh. I made it strong.
Oh,
you know, like they're very
ooh.
proud of their coffee.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So
Everyone
they're-
that works in there is so nice.
Yeah. So Amy Miller, we're here at Gotham. First of all, I just want to say thank you for watching the special. We just went over 140,000 views. It's crazy what's happening on YouTube, and I appreciate all the love. Now, speaking about specials, you have a new one called California King that just came out. We will talk about that. You got a new special that came out on where? The video.
Comedy Central. It's
Comedy
on, you
Central.
can watch it on YouTube. Yeah,
You
yeah,
can watch
yeah.
it on YouTube
Yeah.
too. YouTube is a new place.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting shift because the Comedy Central half hour is like, you know, something that a lot of us, it's like a milestone.
Yeah.
Something we want to get. But they used to be very hard to find because it would be like, oh, I need to steal a cable login or something.
And they come on at midnight where nobody's watching.
Exactly.
At least online now, you can. You've had Sam Morril go viral, Mark Norman's go viral. A lot of people's are going
Yeah.
viral. So it's now they're building up. Oh, this is something to watch again. Where they lost that at midnight when they were airing them.
Yeah, so it's just up. It's just up.
It's just
It's
up.
called Ham Mouth, and you can just watch it or
Yeah.
just honestly click on it. That's all we care about, right?
And what's it called?
Click
California King.
refresh.
So is it called? Is it called California King?
No, California King is the name of my album I dropped yesterday. Been
Okay.
a busy month. But the special is called Ham Mouth.
Eh,
I did name it in the middle of a COVID fever haze.
It's called
Well,
hand mouth or
ham mouth.
ham, like ham you eat or
Yeah, like ham you eat.
okay, why?
There's a joke.
There's a joke
It's
about-
referencing.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not gonna do the
No,
joke.
don't do it. No, this is not that show.
You've heard some of my jokes this week,
Yeah.
and I picked like a bunch of other names that I thought were very funny, and Comedy Central was like, no. I was like, just call it Horny Teen. Like, that's good for searchability, right? Dudes are on there. Look it up. Well, I don't know if they go to YouTube to find horny teens, but how funny it would be, and then it's just like a 40-year-old lady telling jokes.
You would have about 10 billion views right now.
Yeah, I'm
Horny
saying.
Teen, 10 billion views.
They vetoed everything, and then I was like super sick. Yeah, in the middle of a fever. I hopped up on NyQuil, and I was like, Ham Mouth, just do it. And they were like, okay. And then it was in Times Square, and I was like, what have I done?
How cool is that, though?
It is really cool. Yeah, it's this really weird cultural like touchstone where, because my mom was like, what's Comedy Central? Is that a channel? Do I have it? And I'm like, just watch it on YouTube. She doesn't know about any sort of like comedy milestones like that. But people know Times Square, you know,
Yeah.
took a picture of it, and she was like, oh, you're
now I
really
get
doing
it.
something.
Yeah. Were your
Yeah.
parents always into you doing comedy?
Well, just my mom. My dad died when I was really young.
Okay.
But yeah, she's always been really supportive of it. I think my mom is like I'm from Okies.
Okay. Oakland.
Well, no, like
okay.
I am from Oakland.
Okay.
But also
I didn't know if that was a code name for Oakland Okies.
No, it's people from Oklahoma. Like, I'm white trash. We can just shorten it.
I didn't want to say anything, but
You know, there are a lot of people that moved from Oklahoma to like the Bakersfield area, the Dust Bowl migration. You know about
Yes.
this. It's how we got even more white trash in California. They found some new dirt, and they were like,
This
"What
is
about this
awesome."
dirt?" They didn't even go all the way to the ocean. That's what's wild.
yeah, they
It's
were
right there.
They were fine with just dust.
valley.
The valley. They were like,
Yeah.
this is perfect for us.
Yeah.
Too close to the ocean? No.
But those like people, my people, they're not that communicative, and so it's like a lot. If my mom says like, you know, I'm really proud, but she did. It took years, but she was finally like, you know, you do something that scares the shit out of me, and that's really cool. She's
See?
like, I just like had kids and worked, you know. Like you're like having fun and you do something you love. And I was like, oh,
Did you
Mom.
cry?
And she was like, don't even think about it. No, if you cry, she gets so uncomfortable. They're just like stone-faced people.
Have you ever hugged your mom?
Have I ever what?
Hugged your mom?
Oh, yeah. I hug her.
Is it comfortable? Is it very...
It is comfortable.
It's not awkward.
Not a super long one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just a quick...
Yeah, and I'm not like resting my head on her shoulder watching a movie or anything like that. You know what I mean?
As long as
we hug.
As long as you're past the chest bump. You know, just like,
yeah.
we're done.
We hug, we say I love you, but we all have this kind of like, I call it resting dust bowl face instead of resting bitch face. We're just like, we're just those women that people think like we're mad at you all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just hard living white ladies. You know what I mean? Like, so my mom is very much that. So it's like, yeah, for her to be like, oh, I'm really proud. I was like, okay.
So I mean, now you don't look too much of hard living.
I'm not there quite yet.
Yeah, you don't have enough wrinkles.
Oh,
yet.
thank you.
Yeah.
I keep them filled out.
Do you?
With the ham.
With the ham.
Yeah.
So a ham is your Botox.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. If you stay chubby in LA, it's like people just don't know how old you are a lot of the time.
So true.
And I mean, if I lost the weight, it would be like, oh, she's 41 for sure. But right now it's a mystery. I just said it, but. Yeah,
no, I get it. I get your strategy. Hopefully, and it's working out for you because I don't know if you can talk about what other projects do you have going on? Because I heard you talking about one in the green room. I don't know if we can discuss it.
Oh, well, I'm kind of always pitching stuff.
Gotcha.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
The game.
It never stops.
Yeah, I've been working with Wanda Sykes' production company on and off for years. She's always been really supportive of me. She's
so good.
The best. And I open for her sometimes. And so, yeah, if I have like a show idea or whatever, we take it out. People say no. And then we try again a couple years later.
But doesn't stand up, because I was thinking if I was I am a stand-up, but if I was just an actor or a producer and I didn't have stand-up,
yeah,
your life is full of no's. At least when you get on stage, when you get good, you already know tonight you're going to do solid. You're going to do well.
Yeah.
And that's a good feeling where normal people are like, yes, 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 every night. Where if you didn't have that, I think you could go dark very quick.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely huge. It also makes things more confusing, kind of, because I've always gotten like stand-up work. You know what I mean? And I've gotten like those TV stand-up milestones, and I work, the best. I get to work the Cellar here and in New York, and it makes it also more confusing because you're like, why can't I?
Well, I just say
I'm doing so well at stand-up, but I can't get a show made or because comedy's so small that you just see it happening over, and you're like, well, it happens for people, so maybe me.
And
maybe eventually.
And I also think if you got to stick with it, because I feel like the audience, since they're normal people, and especially this club in Vegas, more than the one in New York, people from all over the country come here to party, and you're getting everybody. In New York, you get a lot of locals because the Cellar's so gigantic there. But here it's all visitors pretty much. So you're talking to all walks of people, and I think normal people saying yes eventually will be your bigger yes, because they get it. They're ahead. To me, they're ahead. It's just the other people need to realize it and catch up. And it's our job to keep putting it in their face so they can't catch up.
Yeah, no. I know you're right. I hope you're right. And I don't, in the scheme of things, been in it that long, 11 years.
Yeah.
I started kind of late, I guess. But
which I think is a benefit. We talked about that a little bit too. You started when you were 30.
30, yeah.
I started when I was 36.
Yeah.
And I think it's a benefit.
I think so too, because you're kind of already a person.
Yeah.
With a point of view and thoughts and feelings.
Now, you're at the Cellar, so it's quite different, but I was in LA where, the bits were far in between. Coming up, you had 3 different clubs, and you may get booked once or twice a week, and you had to kind of bounce around. And I didn't come up with a lot of people, so there was no camaraderie. Like I didn't come up with like
you don't have a class.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just there.
Yeah,
you know?
that's tough.
Did you feel that in New York, or do you feel like you're in a class since you came up in New York?
Well, I came up in the Bay Area at first.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I started. And so I definitely have a class. The funny thing is they are so much younger than me. And now it's a little more normal, but I realized like when I was 30, I was hanging out with like 19, 20-year-olds, you know? And I had like a corporate job and stuff. So it was just like, why am I, like I can't stay out at night and drink at a 20-year-old level. Like
No.
I have to go to work in the morning. And now that's evened out a little bit. But yeah, I definitely have that starting class and my home club, the Punchline, like that I love in San Francisco.
Oh, I love
I got lucky with that home club. Yeah.
Did you really? Yeah. No, that's one of the best clubs in the country. Like
I agree.
they don't let me perform there, but I love that club.
Oh, really? Why not?
They make
What'd
me
you
do
do?
Cobbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to, like I said, well, I don't want to put all my business, but I was like, I want to do Punchline.
You know, I'll put in a good word for you.
Will you really?
Yeah.
Well, the same people that own the Cobbs.
I know. Same
well,
booker.
you help me out, Amy, please. I
You
love
know
that
what?
club.
I'll say something. I'll
You
say
will?
something.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I feel
if I
so-
can open.
Of course. You're a headliner. What are you talking about? You don't need to open. Do you still open for people? Like a Wanda
I
Sykes
do.
you would.
Yeah, and I go out with Segura.
Love Tom.
Quite a bit, and
I saw Segura at a Starbucks, and I know Christina, his wife, right? But I don't really know him just through socials. So I saw him in Starbucks, and this was probably a couple of years ago, before the pandemic. And he had on shade. I mean, he just looked cool, right?
another commercial for Starbucks.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And I just didn't say anything to him because I was scared for some reason.
Interesting.
And
He's a really friendly dude.
That's what I heard. I
Yeah.
heard everything about it. But I'm also that dude. It's like, after I say hello, then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You just say hello. How you doing?
Hey.
It is weird, yeah, because you have comedy is that small thing where you like know each other but don't. I've had those moments too, for sure. Maybe we just give a nod and it's like we know who each other is.
Do you go up usually and acknowledging it?
Depends who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to. I've also had the opposite where it is just like a regular famous person. I don't know at all, but I think because we're both stand-ups that does mean something.
Yeah.
Which I think it does.
It does,
But I
because
have been
it's-
like, hi, I'm a comic. And they're like, okay, I don't know who you are at all.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. I
here
think
for it.
to say that you need to be kind of known if
Yeah.
you're going to go to a way bigger, like
Totally.
even my level, I wouldn't
No, I'm
walk-
embarrassing. Yes, thank you.
I wouldn't walk up to Dave Chappelle. Like, yeah, even though I've been on TV, I've done, like, I don't feel like he would know who I am. So
Yeah.
I would be so embarrassed. Because what's he going to say? Oh, man, great. And then
Yeah.
he walks off. And then I'm like, okay, that was my Dave Chappelle moment. Like,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
rather him see me perform and go, oh, man, you crushed it. And then go from there.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I've done it with people that I knew it was going to be some sort of funny moment, which I also shouldn't put that pressure on them. But
Yeah.
it's like, you know, I've met Tracy Morgan one time and it was hilarious, you know? And because I was like, oh, I'm a comic too, so sorry.
And what'd he say?
I just thought, I think he just said, no, you're not. I'm like, okay. Like, it was hilarious. And then he asked me to watch his jacket. And I did.
I'm about to go do stand-up. Watch my
We were at a
jacket.
comedy club, by the way. And so I had to follow him. I had to follow Kevin Hart dropped in, and then Tracy, and then me. So I was like, okay, I just have to crush right now.
And how'd you do?
Because I got to prove to him that I am, in fact, a stand-up comedian.
But did he stay
I
and
did
watch?
very well. Yeah,
Okay.
he said, yeah. And,
Okay.
and, you know, he had to come back for his jacket.
Because you took his jacket on stage to make sure he would watch you do your set, right?
No. But I love the camaraderie that way. Like, it's one of the best parts of it. I'm also just like, if someone is a dick in that moment, then that person's just probably a dick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my approach isn't, you know, I'm not embarrassing myself.
And you know what's
I like to give context, you know.
And you know what's cool about stand-up? When somebody breaks and makes it big, unlike acting, those actors aren't going back to their acting class.
Right.
Where they, like, these clubs, like the Cellar, especially the Cellar, they make it big. They need to go back because they want to work out stuff at the Cellar. And we constantly have to go. This is our school. You know, we definitely have to come back. And what my goal in life, I was talking to Liz from the Cellar the other day, is when you reach that level where they have to put a fake name on the lineup for you, that's when you know you made it. She told me about all the fake names of different people, code names.
Secret headliner.
Secret headliner.
Oh, you got to be careful though, because sometimes secret headliner means a predator we don't want to advertise because people will protest. So you want to be the other kind,
Amy?
The other kind of secret headliner.
I like when Dave Chappelle ever secret headlines. It goes secret headliner. He might smoke, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, they'll be like, smoking comic headlining tonight, and you're like, oh, okay. But now it seems like no matter who it is, people just like buy the tickets, just in case, because there's always these rumors too of like Eddie Murphy's coming back. You know, there was like a solid year in LA before the pandemic, and we were like, is it tonight? Like, we're like at the Comedy Store.
So where do you live, in LA or?
I live in LA.
You live in LA.
Yeah,
Now, what clubs are you at in LA?
Pretty much all of them. The Improv, Laugh Factory, the Store. I'm in development.
Okay,
so it
great.
means I'm like not on the wall yet.
No, yeah.
But I get sets.
No, I get you. I've never, like, I love the Comedy Store.
Me too.
Love the Comedy Store. I love everything, what it's all about. It's just, because when I got to the point where I could perform there, I've done shows there, several shows there.
Yeah.
But I had a family, and it's kind of like you have to invest time.
I know, it's interesting because I have seen, people who are like, straight up famous still have to go through some of the process. And do those showcases that I do. Like
Dave Chappelle said, they passed me at the Comedy Store, and I was like, okay. Like he never like these people never tried to get into the Comedy Store either. And it's very, you have to put time into that club, where I feel like at the Cellar, and it's no disrespect to the Comedy Store at all, I love that club, but it's kind of like SC sees your tape, she likes you, you're in. If she doesn't, you're out.
You do an audition. I do a live audition. There
you go. And that's pretty much it.
You need the recommendation.
Yeah, you need some recommendations, but it's not about, I got to hang out this. If anything, the Cellar is opposite. They don't want you to hang there because it's so small. And you know what I mean? Yeah. They want the comics to hang there, but if you're not past there, it's kind of like you just hanging out.
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
No, they don't want that.
No, it's not that welcoming of a place. I mean, if you're not past yet. Yeah. Because even after I got past, I was still like a little shy about like asking for my food discount or whatever, because the servers don't know me, and I'm like, I think I work here, and they're like, okay, you're gonna have to be a little bit more aggressive about it. Yeah. You want that half off your pasta or your fucking chicken cutlet sandwich.
What's the toughest moment in your comedy career? Was there any ever, because it sounds like only 11 years in, like me, it's kind of been just an upswing. Did you have that one point?
Stand-up wise, yes. But, there's always, like we said, like these no's and,
what's the biggest no that still sticks with you?
Well, I never did Conan. I was a really big Conan fan, and I always wanted to do it. And, that's one of those things where you're like, I had the set, If it wasn't the right set, I could have gotten another one together. But it's just like, just didn't happen,
And what late night shows have you done?
None. I've done Last Comic, but not late night yet. Yeah. So
I just found out like a couple days ago, I'm in for Corden.
Nice.
So, it's one of those things where
it's a really fun experience too.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But it's a thing where I've been told so many times, like I've never gone after it, but I send my friends kind of book these things, and I send it, and it's always like, well, it's because of this, because of that. And I talk a lot about race, so that's a big issue.
I hate that.
And the one thing
if you could just not mention it, that would be great.
It's true. Like they go, well, like you can't talk about that because
it's like politics, but it's not. It's me. It's who you are.
Like that's who I am. Yeah. But a white person can talk about their mom or dad all day, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But if I mention my dad's black, oh no, you can't do that. Why do you have to mention he's black? Well, because so you understand my story even more.
How I got so gorgeous.
No, stop it.
It's interesting, and it is like historically late night bookers, and some of them still do this. They just give a lot more liberties to white people in general, but white men especially, and more freedom to do an alternative set, to talk about weird stuff, to talk about their personal, because they'll be like, make it personal, like tell jokes about you so we get to know you, and then that's what I submit, and then they're like, well, this is very dark, and I'm like, life is hard. Did you want it to be cheerful and personal? Like, you know, it's interesting. And then you know, the feedback is all over the place, but it was like the Conan Booker would say stuff like this joke isn't funny. I'm like, wait, no, because I've done it 1,000 times around the country.
Everybody laughs. Yeah. And that's what's so amazing.
Say it's not a good fit or you don't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When somebody ever says it's not funny, but it's on tape at everybody laughing at it, and you've done it over and over again, it's so ridiculous.
Hundreds of times.
You know? But comedy is so subjective, and that's why you say it's not funny to you. Don't say it's not funny because
it's the communication. Because also you don't do stand up every night. I do. And I'm like, you know that I would never submit a joke that isn't funny for a show I really wanted to do, right? Like it's just
how long did you try to get on that show? How many years?
I mean, on and off for probably like 4 or 5 years.
Wow,
but
you really wanted it.
I did, but I would also like doubt myself and pull back and then like not email him again for 6 months to a year. So it was, eventually I convinced myself that like, oh, I'm just not going to get it, which is bad. That's just self-sabotage.
Yeah, that is.
Like I should have kept trying. You're always going to get it.
You're going to sell a TV show. Everything's gonna blow up. That's how I always try to think. What's one thing?
No, I need that. This is good. This is good. This is my Oprah moment.
I'm all about your positive energy. You're gonna make it, girl. You are gonna make it.
It's going. Yeah.
Look under the table.
Good.
It's your dream.
Oh my God.
A dream for you.
Get a TV show. Well, that's the thing. You know, it's like when you ever like look back and go like, what were my original goals in stand up? Like and this is something else my mom said in her one sweet moment. In 41 years, she was like, you know, look how far you've come. Like, what are the things you wanted to do? You pretty much did them all and more, you know? And it's like, you got to just keep the perspective of that girl.
Yeah.
Who just started stand-up and is like, ooh, what if I could do this, you know? And you're doing all that stuff. It's like, and it's my only job. I mean, I just tell jokes for money. It's crazy.
So what has you fired up right now? Is there anything in the world, the news, whatever, has you fired up right now?
Oh, I mean, or
in your life.
I've been getting really obsessed with these dance cults. Do you know about these dance cults?
Wait, no.
Okay. Okay. I'll send you some videos.
Wait, is it the guys that do this and then they go?
Yeah, it's like that style of, I don't even know what it's called. Sorry. Dance experts.
Is it like the 6-second
like
ones
really
where they just
cool, like TikTok dancers.
Yeah.
But like some of them have like broken off and started to like not talk to their families and shit, like go full cult mode where they just like dance all day and they like marry each other and then like they cut off all their old friends. And so there's been like these like exposés lately. And then the people in the dance cults will like put messages up on TikTok. Like this one girl, and she's an incredible dancer. So it's just like a mesmerizing, like crazy weird video that she's dancing to the Billy Joel song, like It's My Life or whatever. What?
You mean Bon Jovi?
No.
Oh.
Go ahead with your own life. Leave me alone.
Okay.
You know, also known as the theme to Bosom Buddies.
Okay, yeah.
If you're old. And so it was like her message, like, stop trying to contact me. I'm not coming back to my family. She's like dancing to that song on TikTok. And they're like,
wait, what's her name?
She's sending
I gotta
us a
watch
message.
this.
I can't remember her name, but I'll find it for you.
Yes, find it.
Because it's like a whole TikTok story right now. Because, you know, when any of that shit drops on TikTok, there's all these little amateur investigators, you know, that are looking for clues and shit. And I'm just like, I love that.
So you're addicted to your phone?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well,
but I do love TikTok.
You do love TikTok. Are you a big TikToker?
I get it. Oh no, I don't put anything on it.
You just stalk.
And you know, my algorithm is like, now it's a lot of dance cult shit, but it's like cleaning tips, people organizing their drawers. It's like all very like homemaker shit. Recipes, you know.
I have a solid TikTok following, and I just post clips, but I never watch it. But on Instagram, the only thing because my thing is I just look at my feed because I don't want to get involved in it.
Yeah.
But I do watch one. It says cool things you can buy on Amazon, and I get sucked in every time because it shows you all this stuff on Amazon. You're like, I could use this, but you would probably never use it in real life.
Well, they need the money, so.
Yeah, so I watch it. And I represent.
No, the vortex I get in is also a lot of miniatures.
Miniatures.
Just like mini kitchens. Like, this is the whole thing. Like dudes and women, like making full recipes, like an Indian meal, but tiny, but all with real food and tools. So he'll just be like slicing this tiny potato chip, and I'm like, replay.
But why? Watch again? Yes.
Yes.
Why would, like, it's so crazy what people get invested in. Like, I would never go, you know what? I'm going to spend my time in my off time making tiny plates.
That's what's amazing about it. It's just like the commitment and how, like, you perfected this one thing.
What would you, after everything you've watched on your TikTok, if you could be a professional in one thing and start doing it on TikTok, what would it be? What would it be? Oh,
I'd probably be like, there's a lot of kids that like make dollar store crafts. That's another thing I watch a lot.
Dollar store crafts?
Yeah, where they'll like find shit at the dollar store and then turn it into other nicer shit. I'm not explaining this very well.
You need to send that to me.
Or like big ass balloon arrangements and stuff. Like this kid, he's probably like 19. Like makes these birthday arrangements out of just dollar store stuff, and people now are paying him, $500-600 for his arrangements, and he pays, $30.
Oh, you got to send me all that stuff.
I will.
Because what I love is my son, because my kids don't have Toys R Us growing up, so they think the dollar store is like Toys R Us.
Yeah.
So I'm getting way easier than my parents.
Yeah.
Because toys were expensive at the toy store, but the dollar store, I mean, they'll get anything. It's like $2, $3.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah, you're like, you can have $10 to spend however you want. And they're like, I got this bar of soap and an airplane. And I still have $8 left. Although I think they upped the Dollar Tree to like $120 or $115 or something. Yeah.
But let me tell you,
this economy.
But sometimes I take my son to Five Below. Oh, he loses his mind. We upgraded sometimes. He gets the good toys.
That is nice.
Yeah.
I also love a Daiso. And there are a bunch in LA.
A Daiso?
Yeah, it's like a Japanese dollar store.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
And so they just have like real cute shit. You know what I mean?
Shit you'll probably never use, but it's cute.
I use it.
Like, what's the coolest thing you bought at one of these stores?
Like, I get a lot of my like little soup bowls and stuff like that, and like nail polish. Oh, travel bags. You know what I mean? You need, you Panda, that's your thing. Like, I have a little like pill carrier that's just like a panda head. Like that kind of shit. Cute. Little makeup bags and just like a fun bookmark, with a tassel.
There you go. This random shit.
It's cute Japanese shit.
There you go. So how can people find you?
Oh, my website, amymillercomedy.com. And then, I'm on Instagram, Amy Miller Comedy.
Are you on tour?
I'm on tour all the time. Yeah, pretty constantly. So you can look at my website for dates. And then I always post about it. What's
the biggest compliment? Like, was there ever a moment somebody stopped you when you got off the stage and said, or senior comedy comes up to you and goes, "Oh my God, this is great. You were so good." Like, but it was like a huge person you respected, no matter if they were a comic or not.
Oh, yes. A couple of those memories, but I think the biggest one was probably I was working in the Laugh Factory, and Damon Wayans Jr., who is a buddy of mine, like saw that I was going to be there, and then like he knew that his dad and uncles were going that night, and so he was like, "Yo, watch my friend, she's really funny." So I did just like look into the crowd and see like 3 Wayans.
My first time ever on stage, like I did my first show. It went really well, and then the owner of the club, Miami Improv, Joel, said, "You did so well." He didn't believe it was my first time. He says, "You're going to open up for the Wayans brothers the next day."
Nice.
So my second night, I opened up for Marlon and Sean Wayans. And it was such a, like, and they were so cool. And I didn't know what a light was, so I totally ran the light. Is that like, they were like, do just look for the light, get off when the light comes on. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what
I think it's going to be obvious,
Yeah, I think this bright light is coming. I'm up there for 15 minutes, just kind of fucking around. And finally they kind of play music. And
They played you off?
No, they didn't play me off, but they were like, "Hey, man," And then I go back there, and then Sean and Marlon were just cracking jokes. So it was a cool moment to first time you open for somebody as those guys, because they're so nice.
Yeah. Oh, we had a similar moment then.
That's right. I love those guys. That. I love them.
I think my most favorite thing is just like when a regular person is like, "This is my first comedy show."
Yeah.
And now I want to keep coming back. I'm like, yes, we did our job.
How'd you hook up with Segura?
I opened for him. Well, I lived in Portland for a couple years, and I opened for him at the club when there was like he was selling, a third of the room or whatever. And then there was also a snowstorm, and so we had to cancel a few of his shows. And yeah, we met then, and then later he just, I don't know, he asked me if I wanted to open for him, and it's gone in that time from comedy clubs to sports arenas. Which is insane.
Isn't it crazy? We're seeing comics become like rock stars, like true rock stars.
Yeah.
What do you, and
private
you being
jets
so
and
close,
shit.
yeah, you being like, I'm close friends with Joe Coy, Bert Kreischer, and people like that. But, it's weird if you sit down and try to figure out why that, because a lot of people are funny.
Yeah.
It's just interesting which ones like, and how they do it.
Yeah.
And I guess if everybody knew that formula, it would be you. But, I know one of the factors is Judy Marmol. She's a big part of that right now.
Yeah.
Every comic she's with is pretty much blowing up.
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, you got Sebastian, Bert, I think Taylor is with her. So, I mean, she has her comics are taking off, but then, I mean, there's plenty that are taking off too. But
yeah. Well, and Tom and Christina really built their own thing, which is so cool. And, they just did not go the regular way, and I think they influenced a lot of other people in that way
100%. And I actually think Rogan did with his podcast being huge.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It opened the doors
and
for
just
so many
filming
people.
it too. It's like even he was like one of the first people to do that. It's interesting when you are buddies with someone and they go from like regular headliner to super famous kind of thing, because
because I remember
then I'm like, then I just feel bad if I just like even text him happy birthday. I'm like, I'm sorry to bother you,
Yeah, right.
And he's like,
so
we're
big.
friends.
It's
but
so
it's
weird.
I had the same thing with Nicole Byer, where she went from like Nicole to like Nicole,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, are you busy? Do you want to hang out? Sorry. And she's like, you have to stop being this weird. Like, we are friends. You're a psycho. Yeah. But it's a strange dynamic shift. Yeah.
I've had a couple of friends like really blow up. And it's interesting where you were super close and then they kind of trail off, but then they come back and then they trail out because they're so busy too. Now their life is completely different.
They're busy, and I always have that thing where I'm like, I never want you to feel like I need shit from you now, because I opened for you before, and now I'm like, or asking like, will you do my show in LA or whatever? And so I'm always on guard about that. But I think they are too, because you also get to a point where if you're at that level, people do start taking a lot of shit from, and so you have to have that time to reevaluate, like, who are my friends that I can trust?
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's a wild process to watch someone go through, and then you just hope like they don't become assholes or whatever.
That's the main. Just don't be assholes.
Because that happens a lot in comedy.
Yes, it does. Well, Amy, thank you so much for hanging.
Oh, thank you. This is so fun.
New album just came out, California King.
Yes.
Special Ham Mouth.
Yeah.
On Comedy Central. Watch that on YouTube, right?
Yes.
All right, and everybody else watch my special on YouTube as well. I never thought. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Later.